Welcome back to Super Rare Coins. Today we're diving into the top 4 most valuable coins that could be hiding in your pocket right now. These coins may look ordinary, but they can be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Make sure you watch till the end, because the number 1 coin might surprise you. Top 1. The 1980 Lincoln Memorial Penny looks completely ordinary. It features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been used for decades. On the back, you see the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of American history and pride. Millions of these coins were produced, and many are still in circulation today. But here's where things get interesting. Not all 1980 pennies are the same. The version we're focusing on is the 1980 penny with no mint mark. This means it was minted in Philadelphia, as coins from that mint during that time did not carry a mint mark. While that alone doesn't make it rare, certain factors can turn this common coin into a collector's dream. Condition plays a huge role in value. The coin we're discussing is in very fine circulated condition, meaning it has been used but still retains clear details. You can still see Lincoln's hairlines, facial features, and the lettering on the coin without much difficulty. However, it also has visible scratches and signs of wear, which normally would reduce value. So how does a scratched, circulated coin reach a price of $200,000? The answer lies in rare errors and unique characteristics. Some 1980 no-mint mark pennies were struck with minting errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or plancher defects. These errors are extremely rare, and collectors are willing to pay huge amounts for them. For example, a double die error occurs when the coin is struck more than once, slightly misaligned, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the text or design. If a 1980 penny shows strong doubling in the date or the word Liberty, its value can skyrocket. Even in circulated condition, such an error can attract serious collectors. Another possibility is a transitional error or wrong plancher strike. This happens when a coin is struck on a metal blank intended for another denomination. If a 1980 penny was accidentally struck on a different plancher, it instantly becomes a one-of-a-kind collectible. Now let's talk about why collectors are willing to pay such high prices. Coin collecting is not just about age, it's about rarity, uniqueness, and demand. When a coin has a rare error combined with decent condition, it becomes highly desirable. The fewer examples that exist, the higher the value goes. Even scratches, which usually lower value, may not matter as much if the coin has a significant error. Collectors often prioritize the uniqueness of the error over minor surface damage. In some cases, these imperfections even add character and authenticity to the coin. Another important factor is grading. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on their condition and authenticity. A certified coin with a recognized error can fetch a much higher price at auction. If your 1980 penny has never been professionally graded, it might be worth getting it checked. It's also important to remember that not every 1980 penny is worth thousands of dollars. Most are still worth just 1 cent. The high value only applies to extremely rare examples with special characteristics. That's why careful inspection is key. If you think you might have a valuable coin, start by examining it under good lighting. Look closely at the date, the lettering, and the overall design. Check for doubling, unusual shapes, or anything that looks different from a normal coin. Even a small detail can make a huge difference. Collectors often use magnifying tools to spot these rare features. If something looks unusual, it's always a good idea to consult a coin expert or send it to a grading service. You never know. That small copper coin in your hand could be worth a fortune. The idea that a simple penny could be worth $200,000 is what makes coin collecting so exciting. It turns everyday objects into hidden treasures. People all over the world are searching through their change, hoping to find that one rare coin that stands out. Top 2. The 2005 Roosevelt dime features the familiar profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front, a design that has been in use since 1946. On the reverse side, you'll find the torch, olive branch, and oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength. Millions of these dimes were minted in Philadelphia, which is indicated by the small P mint mark on the coin. Because of this high production, most 2005 dimes are only worth their face value of 10 cents. But not all coins are created equal. The specific coin we're discussing is in very fine circulated condition, meaning it has been used in everyday transactions. It shows visible scratches, wear on Roosevelt's features, and slight fading in the design. Normally, these imperfections would reduce the value of a coin significantly. However, in rare cases, certain hidden features can make even a circulated coin extremely valuable. So how can a scratched 2005 p dime be worth $250,000? The answer lies in rare minting errors and unique characteristics that make the coin stand out from the rest. These errors are incredibly uncommon, and when they appear, they attract serious attention from collectors around the world. One of the most valuable types of errors is a doubled die. This happens when the coin is struck more than once by the die, but slightly misaligned. The result is a noticeable doubling of letters, numbers, or design elements. If a 2005 dime shows clear doubling on the date, the word liberty, or in God we trust, its value can increase dramatically. Another rare possibility is an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin can become. Even in circulated condition, an off-center error can make collectors willing to pay thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. There are also cases where coins are struck on the wrong planche. This means the metal blank used was intended for a different denomination or coin type. If a 2005 Roosevelt dime was accidentally struck on an unusual planche, it becomes a highly rare and desirable piece. These kinds of mint errors are among the most valuable in the coin collecting world. Collectors are always searching for coins that are unique. Rarity drives value, and when only a few examples of a coin exist, the demand increases rapidly. Even though this coin is circulated and has scratches, its rarity and unusual characteristics can outweigh those flaws. Condition still matters, though. A very fine coin retains a good amount of detail despite wear. You can still clearly see Roosevelt's profile, the lettering, and the overall design. This level of preservation helps maintain value, especially when combined with a rare error. Another key factor is authentication and grading. Professional grading services evaluate coins to confirm their authenticity and assign a condition grade. A coin that is officially graded and recognized as having a rare error can command a much higher price at auction. Without proper certification, it can be difficult to achieve top value. It's important to understand that not every 2005 p Roosevelt dime is valuable. The vast majority are common coins worth only 10 cents. The high value we're discussing applies only to extremely rare examples with significant minting errors or unique features. That's why careful inspection is so important. If you have a 2005 dime, take a closer look. Use good lighting and, if possible, a magnifying glass. Check the date, the mint mark, and the lettering for any signs of doubling or unusual appearance. Look at the edges and overall shape of the coin to see if anything seems off. Sometimes, the smallest detail can make the biggest difference. A slight doubling or a small misalignment could be the key to identifying a rare coin. If you notice anything unusual, it's always a good idea to consult a professional or send the coin for grading. The idea that such a small coin could be worth $250,000 is what makes coin collecting so exciting. It turns everyday pocket change into potential treasure. People all over the world are searching through their coins, hoping to find something rare and valuable. Top 3. The 1982 Lincoln Memorial Penny features the well-known profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been part of American coinage for generations. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol recognized all over the world. Coins from 1982 are especially interesting because this was a transitional year in U.S. coin production, making them highly important for collectors. In 1982, the United States Mint changed the composition of the penny from mostly copper to a zinc core with a thin copper coating. This means there are actually multiple varieties of 1982 pennies, including copper and zinc versions, as well as large date and small date designs. The coin we are focusing on is the large date version with no mint mark, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia. At first glance, a circulated coin in fine condition with visible scratches might not seem valuable. Fine condition means the coin has experienced noticeable wear. The details of Lincoln's face are still visible, but they are softer and less sharp. Scratches and marks are present on the surface, which is completely normal for a coin that has been used in everyday transactions. So how does a coin like this reach a value of $250,000? The answer lies in rare errors and unique combinations that make certain examples incredibly scarce. Not every 1982 penny is valuable, but specific variations can be extremely rare and highly sought after. One of the most important factors is the combination of date size and metal composition. For example, a rare transitional error could occur if a large date design was struck on the wrong metal planche. If a 1982 large date penny with no mint mark was mistakenly struck on a copper planche when it was supposed to be zinc, it becomes a rare and valuable error coin. Collectors are particularly interested in these kinds of transitional mistakes because they represent a moment of change in minting history. When the mint switches materials or designs, there is always a small chance for errors to occur, and those errors can become some of the most valuable coins ever discovered. Another possible reason for such a high value is a double die error. This happens when the coin is struck more than once with slight misalignment, creating a doubling effect on the letters or numbers. If you notice doubling in the date 1982 or in the word liberty, this could be a sign of a valuable error. There are also off-center strikes, where the coin design is not properly aligned during minting. This can result in part of the design being missing or shifted. The more dramatic the error, the more appealing it is to collectors. Even in fine condition with scratches, a strong off-center strike can significantly increase value. Despite the scratches and wear, rarity always takes priority in the world of coin collecting. A common coin in perfect condition may be worth very little, while a rare error coin in worn condition can be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's why collectors are always on the lookout for unusual features rather than just perfect surfaces. Authentication and grading are also very important. Professional grading services carefully examine coins to confirm their authenticity and assign a grade based on condition. If a coin is officially recognized as a rare error, its value can increase dramatically in auctions and private sales. It's important to keep expectations realistic. Most 1982 pennies are still only worth 1 cent. The high value we're discussing applies only to extremely rare examples with unique characteristics. That's why it's essential to examine your coins carefully. If you have a 1982 Lincoln Memorial penny, take a closer look. Check the date style to confirm whether it is a large date or small date. Weigh the coin if possible. Copper pennies weigh about 3.1 grams, while zinc pennies weigh around 2.5 grams. This simple test can help identify a rare transitional error. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the lettering and numbers. Look for signs of doubling, unusual shapes, or anything that seems different from a normal coin. Pay attention to the edges and overall appearance as well. If you believe you have found something unusual, consider having it evaluated by a professional. Coin experts and grading services can provide accurate information and help determine its true value. The idea that a small worn penny could be worth $250,000 is what makes coin collecting so exciting. It turns everyday objects into hidden treasures and encourages people to look more closely at the coins they use every day. Top 4. The 2016 Roosevelt dime features the familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front, a design that has remained a staple of American coinage since 1946. On the reverse side, you'll find the torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, along with an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. The D Mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major production facilities in the United States. Millions of these dimes were produced in 2016, and the vast majority are still only worth their face value of 10 cents. However, not every coin is the same. The specific coin we're discussing is in fine circulated condition, meaning it has been used in everyday transactions and shows clear signs of wear. Scratches are visible on the surface, and some of the finer details of the design are slightly worn down. Normally, this level of condition would make the coin quite common and not particularly valuable. So how can a circulated 2016 D dime reach a value of $270,000? The answer lies in extremely rare minting errors and unique characteristics that make certain coins stand out from the rest. These rare variations are what collectors search for, and when they find them, they are willing to pay extraordinary amounts of money. One of the most important factors that can increase the value of a coin is a mint error. For example, a doubled die error occurs when the coin is struck more than once with slight misalignment. This creates a visible doubling effect on the lettering or numbers. If a 2016 dime shows strong doubling on the date, the word Liberty, or In God We Trust, it can become highly desirable to collectors. Another possibility is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a design that is shifted or partially missing. The more dramatic the off-center error, the more valuable the coin can become. Even in circulated condition, such an error can attract serious attention. There are also rare cases where coins are struck on the wrong planche. This means the metal blank used for the coin was intended for a different denomination. If a 2016 Roosevelt dime was accidentally struck on a planche meant for another coin, it instantly becomes a rare and valuable error piece. These types of mistakes are extremely uncommon, which is why they can command such high prices in the auction market. Collectors are always searching for coins that are unique. Rarity is the most important factor when determining value. Even though the coin has scratches and is only in fine condition, its rarity can far outweigh its imperfections. In fact, many collectors are willing to overlook surface damage if the coin has a significant and well-defined error. Condition still plays a role, though. A fine coin retains enough detail to clearly identify the design and any unusual features. Roosevelt's profile is still visible, and the main elements of the coin can be recognized without difficulty. This helps maintain its appeal to collectors, especially when combined with a rare minting error. Another crucial factor is authentication. Professional grading services examine coins to verify their authenticity and assign a grade based on condition. If a coin is officially certified as a rare error, its value can increase significantly. Without proper grading, it can be difficult to convince buyers of the coin's true worth. It's important to understand that not every 2016 D Roosevelt dime is valuable. Most are still worth only 10 cents. The high value we're discussing applies only to extremely rare examples with unique characteristics. That's why careful inspection is so important. If you have a 2016 dime, take a moment to examine it closely. Use good lighting and, if possible, a magnifying glass. Look at the date, the mint mark, and the lettering. Check for any signs of doubling, unusual shapes, or anything that seems different from a normal coin. Sometimes the smallest detail can make the biggest difference. A slight doubling or a small misalignment could turn an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. If you notice anything unusual, it's always a good idea to consult a coin expert or have the coin professionally evaluated. The idea that a simple dime could be worth $270,000 is what makes coin collecting so exciting. It transforms everyday change into potential treasure and encourages people to pay closer attention to the coins they use every day.